Okay, so what can see here, this is a giant forest ant. It actually has 3 body parts, okay, and 6 legs. If you observe, right, actually this 6 leg originate from the center part of the insect, which is the thorax. Can you see the thorax there? Yeah, the thorax there. This part. I try to annotate on the
Is this a
screen.
male or a female?
This one I'm not quite sure because I'm not a
Or is that
specialist.
ant?
Yeah, but I want you to show you because this part, many students they thought that this part, you see this one. You see the 6 legs are all from the center part. It's not 2 from the backside, 2 from the head. No, it's all the 6 legs, right? All the 6 legs originate from the thorax. Okay, and this one are the antenna, the feelers to sense the surrounding. They got this sharp mandible, like the claw, like
Yeah, to like munch.
yeah, to munch or to anchor themselves to the prey. Okay, this one is abdomen. Okay, this one is the digestive system inside here. Okay,
Then
so
where does the eggs contain?
no, only the queen ant lay eggs. This is not a queen ant. Queen ant is very big. Okay, I haven't seen the actual queen ant myself because they are actually deep underground. Yeah, so these are worker ant go look for food. Look for food for them. So you see this one is moving. So this is a giant forest ant. So we learn about insect. And let me show you another one. Okay, just now I told you about the
There's the
cold
fly
blood.
one that I was talking about, a beautiful fly in Sungei.
No, I want to show you something. You know, just now cold-blooded and warm-blooded, right? Can you remember what is cold-blooded? Cold-blooded means the animal
Means the
temperature
body temperature changes due to the
changes what? The
surrounding.
changes with the surrounding, right? So I would like to show you one video which I took about this. Let me see, where is it? About this creature that actually is. Okay, maybe it's earlier. Okay, just now we learned about bread more, right? You see this bread more experiment, this one. With and without preservative. So with preservative, the bread. After 1 week, let's see what happened to the bread which they have done the experiment. Changket, what do you see?
Mole.
Mole under the magnifying glass. Let's see this mole. This one is the one without preservative. You can see here the mole. Okay, without, some bakery in Singapore, right? They don't use preservative. Those traditional bakery shop, right? So if you buy those bread, right? If you don't keep in the fridge, they will turn moldy faster. But if you buy bread from NTUC or those supermarket, those Gardenia, whatever sunshine bread, right? They contain preservative. No? So they can prevent mold from growing on it longer. But for a healthy eating, we should eat bread that doesn't contain preservative. Okay, because preservative is a chemical, they prevent the food from being like turned bad. Yeah. So for health sake, you should eat those bread, right, which doesn't contain has preservative. Formed a lot, and this one is with the preservative. Less mold is being formed. Turn on the reverse side, and this is how they label this experiment. The upper deck. Upper here means because I make this plastic bag for them, so I give them 2 types of breads. One is with preservative, one is without, and then ask them bring home to keep it in the open. I mean, not in the freezer, in the open area. Bread without preservative, which has turned more moldy, and this one with the preservative, less moldy. So do you like the experiment, both of you?
Yes.
Thank
These children now, they are P5 already. Then Jude, you see some of them, right? You've seen the boy, right, Jude? Okay, the other one, I'm saying the warm blood and cold blood. I think the video is here, quite interesting. That one I took it before COVID. Let me see. Do you see one video about reptile one? Measuring, this one.
Today we are doing a simple experiment of measuring the body temperature of two organisms. One is a human, which is a mammal, warm-blooded. Let's take the body temperature using this thermal scanner. Let's see. And the temperature recorded is 36.6. And one more time.
Okay, because take average reading. Okay, this one is the thermal scanner, you know, right? Take a forehead temperature.
It's 37.2. Can you point one more time correctly? Yes. Okay, now the focus is shifted to this organism.
Okay, what organism is that? Can you see it?
Nope.
You see carefully.
Oh, you can see it's a what's the black thing? What's the black thing over?
Yeah, this thing. What is it?
I know what's the black thing behind.
No, the black thing is some sort of food, I think. I'm feeding this thing. This one is a house lizard.
A reptile, the cold-blooded organism. Let's measure the temperature of the, what's the temperature? 24.5. One more time. Let me go at 25.6. So,
but is the temperature with the glass?
This animal having.
Sorry?
But is the temperature with the glass?
No, this one, you know, is the plastic one because they can go through the infrared. Yeah, because it's a thermal scanner. So it is lower because it is taken in my tuition center. The air conditioning is about 25 degrees Celsius.
Having a lower temperature because at this temperature here, the room temperature is about.
Let's see here this part. So this is 24, 20, yeah.
23. And the lizard here and these children here are testing each other body temperature. Okay. And what's the temperature? One more time. And check. 37. Okay, let's measure the last time for the lizard. Body's temperature is 24.3.
Yeah, so it's quite close to the environment. So because reptiles are like, you know, like terrapin also. Some of you rear terrapin, right? Who rear terrapin?
Yeah. Me.
Actually, the terrapin also, the body temperature changes with the surrounding, you know. Yeah. So the terrapin, sometimes you see, it's best that you have a rock, right? To allow the terrapin to climb and then enough water for it to swim. Because if it's feeling a bit hot, right, warmer, the terrapin will swim in the water. It is feeling cold, right, it will come out to the rock and rest. So it's good to have this environment.
So we have learned indeed, actually the temperature of reptile is called cold-blooded because the temperature changes with the surrounding. So the temperature of this place is about 24 degrees centigrade. Awesome learning and one academy.
Yeah. So these are some of my YouTube which I made. You can see there are several more inside. So after my training, right, if you got time, there are more than 200 videos inside about science. You can slowly see. So actually, the one on the top are the more recent one. Okay, are the more recent one. So I can advise you to see this one, the terrapin, this one. These two terrapin. It's the same terrapin. And then there's a heat question on here, food sciences, about heat flow. And then also other questions under open-ended. And the day I saw a stingray here. Stingray is a fish. So it's a cold blood. It breathes through gills in the Macritchie Reservoir. Okay, one more thing, the insect. Just now we saw the end, right? Say some insect have wings. You see this one? This insect have wings.
I saw the exactly same size moth in my school.
Yeah, this is very big. It's the size of my palm. Yeah.
Where do you even find it from again?
Okay, because my house is beside a forest. So usually at night, the insects are attracted by the lights in my house. They flew inside my house. Although I stay on the 11th floor, some of these insects still can fly up to 11th floor. And because this moth came inside my house, my children are scared. So they asked me to get rid of it. So instead of killing the moth, right, I captured it in a container. Huh?
Oh, no one.
Is this one? I
Oh,
captured it in a biscuit container after the biscuits have been finished.
how do you catch it?
Oh, how do I catch it? Because you see, later I show you this part.
Gas flying so many things.
Okay, this part. You see, wait, by the way, you see insect, this one has a compound eyes. They got hundreds of eyes here.
Oh,
So because they can sense movement very sensitively, in order to catch it, you must move very slow. Because if you sudden movement, they will fly away. So what I did, because the moth was resting on the house, on the floor there at night, right? So I moved very slowly with the opening facing downwards. Then over here, then I come down very, very slowly. Because if you come down fast, it will fly. You come down as slow as possible. Then once it touches the surface, right? Then I make a vibration, because once you vibrate, the moth will start to fly. So the moth flew out, and then I quickly slip the cover underneath and close it.
smart.
Yeah. Okay. So actually, I feed it something. You see this little green thing here. It's actually a passion fruit seed.
Okay.
No, because I eat passion fruit.
Green tea.
It's not green tea. It's a passion fruit seed.
No,
Got some
didn't
flesh
say
on it.
green tea. I said it's a
Did you poke
green
a
tea.
hole on top so it can breathe?
Okay, because this container, right,
Airtight?
it's very hard to punch a hole, and actually insect uses very little oxygen. So what I did is I caught it about 9 something. So before I sleep, I open a little bit, let some oxygen go in, and then I seal it again. Then the next morning I open again, so it can refresh the oxygen inside. Because the container is too thick to punch a hole. Then after that, right, the following day, I brought to my center to show the student. You can see the next video. I let go this moth. Oh. I mean, like, you see the next one. Where was it? Okay. The moth down there, right? This one. You see this one? Look at this moth that has been caught yesterday that I used to let students examine it. The beautiful moth here. And today, one of my brave students from ACS, he's going to give this moth the flight of freedom. He's releasing this moth near the area there. So get ready, my brave little warrior here. The flight of freedom. Can you open up, or is it too tight? Okay, ready. Hey, face it to the top. Or you open up. Just open, yeah, turn this way, yes. Okay, yes, flown away, good. Okay, when he opened up, actually the moth, because it was locked inside for about 24 hours, right? So the muscle actually is not that warm up yet. So later you observe the moth actually flew down again to warm up. Peace. Flight of freedom. The moth, because the moth is locked inside, you need to warm up first. You need to pump enough blood to its wings to fly. It's there. It's trying to gain. It's flapping around, yes. It's over here. And it's flying there. It's flight of freedom. Back to nature. Bye. Okay. So you can observe some of these YouTube video from my channel after the training. So there are many of them. Some of them is about answering questions. So you can see all this.
Imagine if the moth flies into your house again.
I will not be surprised because I told you I live near the forest, right? No, I think this moth won't fly back there because my house is quite far from my learning center. Yeah. Yeah. So what I do now is I come back to this part. But the mouse is not working. I'm using share screen. Okay, now you return back to your question again. Go back to your questions. Okay, I try to close this. Yeah, come here. Come back to this question. Are you able to see the screen? No, right?
No, not yet. You haven't shared.
Yeah. 等一下。Okay, come back to the question here, this one. Now can see, right?
Yeah, now can see.
Okay. So now we continue this part. Whose turn to read now? Okay, maybe I ask Isabella. Can you do number 8 and 9?
Number 9 I skipped.
Okay,
'Cause I
number
never-
8 you do, number 8.
Number 11 and 12 I know.
Or 8.
And 8 I also know.
8, okay. 8, what's the answer?
Under a microscope.
Yeah, correct. Under a microscope, correct. Okay, how about 9?
No, 9 and 10 I didn't do. Only did 11 and 12 yet.
Okay, 9, this one. I think Jude, you know, right? Jude, what's the answer? Jude. Can you see number 9 answer?
I also don't know.
You also don't know. I thought you learned from my learning center.
Never learned before.
Never learn. Okay, you know the control setup, right? This one, right? The
Mass?
quantity being measured.
Oh.
Yeah, being measured. And it's only due to the change made. Okay, how to use this question? Because usually they show you one experiment, right? For example, you want to determine if light intensity affect the rate of photosynthesis, right? So I changed the distance of the torchlight from the plant. So the closer the distance, right, the stronger the light. So they ask you what is the purpose of the control setup. Okay, control setup means one setup without a torchlight. Okay, that's a control setup. So the control setup shows that any difference in the rate of photosynthesis, right? Because you measure rate of photosynthesis, right? It's only due to the distance between the plant and the torchlight. So there's a change. Okay, number 10, what's the answer? Maybe
accuracy.
Okay, Sanhan, what's the answer for number 10? You know this word? How to pronounce this word? Reliability. Okay, usually you do experiment, you repeat a few times. You don't do one time, right?
Can we say Can we say accuracy?
Okay, there's a difference between accuracy because I put RE here. Okay, there's a difference between accuracy and reliability. It's not the same. Accuracy is not same as reliability. Okay, this one you may only need to know the difference when you're in primary 6. So if I tell you now, it may confuse you. Okay, but basically accuracy and reliability are two different, slightly different things. Okay, slightly different thing. They are not the same. Okay, so you think note of that. Okay, the next one is volume, right? It has definite volume. Okay, and solid cannot be compressed. Okay, so these are the blank. So this is microscope. Anyone of you have a microscope at home now?
I don't.
Yeah, I also don't. I only have binoculars.
I also don't have binoculars.
Yeah, microscope actually quite expensive and not easy to manage microscope. You need to make into slides.
I've only borrowed a microscope from my friend.
Or borrow from your friend. Okay. So basically, I have gone through this. You can take down the answer. Okay. And then just now we started at what time? 9:30, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So now we take a 10 minutes break. Later we come back, we'll do the first set of paper. So you all go for a 10 minutes break, we come we come back in 10 minutes time. Okay, see you later.